Today is the investiture of the 13th Sheriff of Citrus County, Sheriff David E. Vincent.
Since 1887, this is the 13th time that a man has stood before the people of Citrus County to assume the role of the top law enforcement position in our community. Today, as we celebrate the installation of David Vincent as our next sheriff, and we should remember what it takes to make a great sheriff, to be respected and to keep our community safe. Voters have decided that David Vincent is the man for the time. David comes to us with great experience in our sheriff's department and also in taking the leadership role in keeping the children in our school system safe. He understands this community, and while he has all of those experiences in law enforcement, he also has the right combination of competence and humility to do the job the right way. David Vincent is the man for our time. Citrus County is ready to embrace his leadership. It's a new day. Congratulations, David.
When Dave came to me early on and said, "What do you think about me running for sheriff?" I said, "I think it's the greatest idea I've ever heard." I said, "It'll be hard. You're running against an incumbent, but you can do it." Because, see, I watched Dave's ethics for working, for his character and everything else, and I knew he would work 24/7 to get elected. And I also knew if the people in Citrus County, once they met him, they would know that he was the right man for the job.
You know, I had the pleasure, when I first came in, Dave worked for me. And one of the things I could always count on was, very simply, efficiency, effectiveness, commitment, professionalism, and probably the biggest word that I've always used over 20 years, countless times, integrity. And Dave epitomizes every aspect of the officer sheriff, and he epitomizes the totality of what those words mean as he enters into this office. Because if one thing you don't understand, this is the most important elected official in local government, no matter where you go. We are entrusted, we are commanded by you to keep you, your family members, our most vulnerable, our elderly, and as we all know, our children, safe for the predators and the evil that is within our community. And as a gentleman that held that position for 20 years, I couldn't be more honored to stand today to assist in this process, because he truly is, and I'm going to steal something that I use for a couple of times, the right man, right job, right now. I state your name.
I, David Vincent,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
That I will support.
that I will support,
Protect.
protect,
And defend.
and defend
The Constitution and government.
the Constitution and government
Of the United States.
of the United States
And of the state of Florida.
and of the state of Florida,
I am duly qualified.
that I am duly qualified
To hold office.
to hold office
Under the Constitution of the state.
under the Constitution of the state,
And that I will well.
and that I will well
And faithfully perform.
and faithfully perform
The duties of sheriff.
the duties of sheriff
Of Citrus County.
of Citrus County,
On which I
on which I
am about to enter.
about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Sheriff.
What a great day in Citrus County. So I first wanted to start by saying a few thank yous to some important people in my life that helped make this dream for me a reality. First and foremost to my family, my wife, Angel, and my two sons, Ethan and Landon. So I just thank you for all the years of support in this crazy profession that I chose to take on, and for the last 31 years to my wife of putting up with that and supporting me. I truly appreciate that. To my parents, Brad and Donna Thorpe, you are two of the hardest working people I know, and your contributions to my success as your son are unmatched. To my campaign team, my family, of course, Angel, she was there from the start, before the start to the end. Chris Moling, Dave and Sherry DiCarlo, my parents, Tom and Darlene Dick, I appreciate it, and we did it, right? We did it. To all of the great role models in my life, there's many, but there are two very special ones here today. To our MC, our Master of Ceremonies, Miss Sam Himmel, I love you, my work mom. And to my sheriff for 20 years, Sheriff Jeff Dawsey, thank you so much. To each and every one of you sitting here today, this is a little overwhelming. I knew we'd have a crowd, but this is unbelievable. But this is what Citrus County is all about, is you guys here tonight. So I appreciate you and thank you. So at this time, before I get into my remarks, it takes a team of people to lead an agency in the right direction. And at this time, I would like to take just a minute to introduce a newly formed executive team that I established today on our first day of office. So at that time, I'm going to introduce them. They'll come up in front so we can put faces with names. But first, if I could have Calvin Adams come to the front, sir. Calvin is our Chief of Staff, and he's got a great career, 31 years of Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission as the Colonel retired there from Tallahassee. He tells me he's glad to be back in Citrus County, not in Tallahassee, and we're glad to have him, and I can't wait to see the great things that we do together. So thank you, Calvin, and congratulations. Next, a long-time friend of mine, Dave DiCarlo. Yeah, if you don't know him, he is Italian and he goes by Pasta. So Dave, 35-year law enforcement veteran, comes back to us from Hernando County. We're glad to have him back. Dave is going to be our executive director for the Office of Community Engagement and Transparency. So he's got a lot of work to do because, as you guys know, one community, one goal. We got a lot of stuff to get done. So congratulations, Dave DiCarlo. Next, Thomas Bosco, if you could come up for me. So I've known Tommy a long time. We go way back. We were both bomb technicians together when we first met down in Tampa. It was at probably a Bucks game or a Rays game or something like that. But Tommy just retired last Friday from the Chief Financial Officer's office in Tallahassee, and he was the Bureau Chief over support operations. So I'm happy to say that Tommy has taken on the role of Major for the Bureau of Support Operations at the Sheriff's Office. So congratulations. And Bobby Lambert, I hope that wasn't because you're better looking than me. Yeah, right. So Bobby, longtime friend of mine and a current member of the Sheriff's Office. He's currently a captain over Special Operations, but Bobby will be leading our Law Enforcement Bureau of Operations there for the Sheriff's Office, and he's got a lot of work to do. So congratulations, Bobby. All right, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. This has been a journey for sure. And in June of 1993, I started this journey unknowingly to become the sheriff of Citrus County. Now, if you would have asked me then if I was going to be sheriff one day, I would have laughed and said, no, I want to be a real cop. Yeah. My first interview was at the sheriff's office, and it was done by Jeff Dawsey, who was at the time he was a captain over the Emergency Operations Center. I came to learn later that he was a well-respected law enforcement guy who came up through the ranks and later became my sheriff in 1997. He must have seen something in me and hired me to be a 911 operator. I'll never forget one thing he said, though, during my interview, and that was, "It doesn't hurt that your stepfather's a county commissioner." So I left that interview knowing I didn't understand anything about politics as a 21-year-old, but I figured it was good. So over the next 27 and a half years at the Sheriff's Office, I jumped at opportunities to learn more about every aspect of the job. I had been a dispatcher, patrol deputy, detective, corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and even a bomb squad commander. During that time, I had seen people come and go from this career field, and I learned something from all of them. I have always said that my advantage to being at the agency was to have seen the things that we did right and the things that we didn't do right, and try not to repeat those mistakes. There are some things that you will never forget during your law enforcement career. For me, I still remember the first people on my communications squad, like Scott Farmer, Sherry Oakes, Michelle Ferguson, Mary Bickle, Bill Waterman, Mova Forgione, and people on my first patrol squad, Carlton Green, Jeff Monday, Bob Levesque, Billy Tompkins. And one of those moments that you don't forget in your career was the time that Miss Sandra Sam Himmel gave me the opportunity to lead the school district as their chief of police. And I don't know how many of them are here in the audience tonight, but all of them have contributed to making me who I am today. I reminisce in these moments for a specific purpose. Because I stand here today as the sheriff of Citrus County, my first wish tonight is that there is a young man or woman within our ranks or in the audience that has yet to realize their potential. And 30 years from now, they will be standing here addressing our citizens while never forgetting where they come from. So where do we go from here? 8.5 years ago, we lost a dear friend of mine. And if he were here today, I would not be standing here. You see, he believed several very important things related to this job. He believed in people. He believed in relationships with people. He believed in serving people. And one of his most important traits was doing the right thing for the right reason. As one of the great leaders and influencers in my life, I saw these traits in him. That made me want to do better. I ran for sheriff because I felt that these traits had been sidelined and that the citizens of Citrus County deserved better than what the last 8 years had brought them regarding public safety and customer service. My message today to every citizen in our community is that every member of the Citrus County Sheriff's Office will treat you professionally, fairly, and justly, regardless of your current situation, and during every interaction we have until, and this is the big until you give us a reason not to. Then we are playing a different ball game. Make no mistake about it. No one likes putting bad guys and gals in jail more than David Vincent. My campaign was run on a motto of one community, one goal. And a lot of people had asked me along the way what that meant. To me, it's a very simple concept. Everyone in this community plays a role in our success. For myself as your sheriff, my goal is to provide you the safest community in the state of Florida. But I cannot do this without each member of our community doing their part to make us successful. As we move our agency into the future, my promise to you today is that you have a law enforcement agency that you can trust and depend on in your times of need, and that you and your family's safety is always our number one priority. I've come to realize that many great things started with one person's idea, but to see a great thing come to life takes many hands. My second wish tonight is that if you don't remember anything else I said, please remember this. We are stronger together. And I want you to remember that. You're going to hear it again. We are stronger together. Citrus County is such a unique community that helps each other in times of need, looks out for each other, helps their neighbors, and is still small enough for you to know people in every corner of this community. As we continue to worry about growth in this beautiful community, just remember we can count on each other. To the members of the Citrus County Sheriff's Office, please know that I will work tirelessly every day for you to ensure that you have a positive working environment that will support your goals and ours, while always keeping the safety of our citizens and your families our number one priority. To the men and women in uniform, we will continue to fight the good fight between good and evil. My promise is to provide you with the best training and equipment to help give you a fighting chance for your safe return home after every shift. In closing, I will leave you with something I heard from a good friend of mine, Miss Laura Lindeman, one night as she addressed the graduating class of Citrus High School as their principal. She told them to choose significance over status. What that has always meant to me is that meaningful contributions to something will always outweigh the status that someone seeks. So as your sheriff, I will always choose significance over status. I want to thank this community for allowing me to have the opportunity to be the 13th sheriff of Citrus County, and may God bless the great state of Florida and the United States of America. Thank you.